smart me ba cho brebe na ate say ya drag na kunyina court da because of nano. But what me ekeka nsem bi say President Kufuor ye illegal mining. BNI will invite you to come and substantiate your claim. Okwani ehun say asem ne nyina so bi ani eja. Every ben na ate say Kufuor wa instruct class say ya fa Captain Smart nko court da. Me ba cho ti bi da. Sansem we na ye kan yese bi a police invite wa na say we.
But say Mahama so instructors here for bi.
Eti Mahama ntimi instruct say munya de moye no.
Okay.
Another don't call for
baby. Me ba cho omo ye do omo kokko de say dumso aba. Dumso is back. Na police for akotwe boy yi from Agona jejeje de na bankran. Na ye de na court. Ni e remand bi. Just because of omo no asem. Obi the president a painting president in gay colors. Na nipa no ye de na remand akohyem.
Now yes I hear that.
Yeah, but and Baumia me pese mu say mo tolerance level of form. And Baumia ya kremonia ya so worry risky we preku. But sinteli ya ira koku mu NDC fo. Na mo yes ade no. And so ya anya mo hwe ya mo ho wa. We pretended as if you don't even exist. Ti mo tolerance level. Na ya ke nipa asabi na no ya pa ba kwa nkanye President Mahama. In Ghana's politics, Otimika Chair Dr. Mahmoud Baumia says some work is stupid. Martin Pebu they use the word stupid. Otimika Chair MPs from Balonis. Otimi fre a whole tribe Achim Sakawa mafias. Mamintina ha. Namin lebo gonja for. Say because same as President Mahama Kranka namin ka semuntia gonja for say omo ye Achim gonja deben Sakawa. Master, why do you think this will land me? And then in the because I'm trying to disturb the peace of this country. Police for Babachi.
You are being tribalistic.
What you say? You be but a dear back was a NDC who say, Mo Frank Kufuor Nebukadnezar, Nebu. No, Mahama
can do an answer, Mahama.
And someone more catch NPP. Nobody. And they didn't go to court. The only person under ye 8 years, na no asem. I didn't go to court. Now it had to do with the Bank of Ghana speculation. Me pa cho obusa so no kra we dem say just 2 weeks.
And you just.
Unim say enu kra no. And then ya Kufuor ado asem. Now ya about the dollar. The Bank of Ghana took it upon themselves. In fact, what kind of it's on a TikTok now can say go la benya story. Lawyers say what court to cry pleading. Sanka beya omunya na judge ni say no the speculation no ya too much. Say beya nkrofo besuya bibi nti. Ya fa ne enkodam.
E bi na ekoso yi. Yes, let example.
Tie eno nya remand na remand kura 2 weeks masa yenya wa obedam say
all the difficulties, negativities, obviously I know pana ko we go tell radio so e do attempts all day all night. I was so ni bibika because we go keep say hey and I won't person ko for kan once a man. I mean all of these things, but they don't disturb me and they don't derail me, they don't divert me from the project ahead of.
How do you keep calm when people criticize your actions?
How do I keep calm when they criticize my actions? First of all, I think that's a system of government that I've always wanted for this country.
So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code.
How do I keep calm when they criticize my actions?
His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo wachere se ampa oyepani. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo achere se sebi eba amamuyo mu a wotiase pa. Na ensemu a waka ede achere Ghana de hye bi ena amanfo ahunu se wopani se nyini a wanyini ache. Emfie aduowotwe nyensa ede kwa aduowotwe 84 years. Papa ida su jina ne na so den ye aniema papa ye mabunu kura bi ntimi nye. Wo hwe papa ye ne otimi fa phone na wo chate na wo WhatsApp te se babunu. Papa yi timi fa pen twere okenkan wa bra won share space. Edi entra na ama His Excellency Ghana man penida da na Addo Akufo-Addo woda su jina ne na so ene ne ho den. Ensem amanfo bi busa ne se papa won fa boga enye soan se atenie bi a ekoso no papa no wonfi wa hyeda bu nani agotu se wiase no enye nsem nyina obete na ese wososo se ye nokora se ye atro ense wadaji ewo ho na eno ena enne ama sebi watimi enyina duru sam pempenso no bibia ha no oni pressure oni diabetes oni hwanhwan oni hwe ne ho den ena wode enam de enti ne saa sensem ya beto montre so a obia eka bie enche ena Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama ede betu dwa afia etwamu ya se ohwese de maburu ne bi ehoro no social media no a obema national security for ahyase abu awurawura manfo accountum ene se wo na wo bede John Dramani Mahama besi wo se wo horo no a wo ho no mo aye do IP address betimi track wo saa aba be chew na ye chew a o mani ni wo bedi papa fi se wo nya sika to mo ba fun a ne no nkire se kosto si wanim na aban ne ye bibia na ode wano atum uni mamamuyo unye o mampani ade ntina wo betimi asopɔ mampani se bi ade a wo ye na nya na se ne na manfo se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama obetina konya so na ye nya 1 year o e na manfo sha ase se wonum criticize o anase wo mo bo wachi enu ho bufo no ne kokan say na Addo danko akufu ado tena Ghana konya so 8 good years ye so pa no frida ye de si so ebesi da ye to abayi ni fie nwotwe papa yi ammo wada papa yi anka se sebi sem twerefo bi yenko ne yenko fa wo mu yenko kochi wo mu enti se wo de oba konya so na wo ka se sebi bloggers no ka bibia obachichi wo mu de ene obachi Ghana de hie nyina frisa feina wonom eba be sha asia to wo manu agu so papa afra se de no podi se na eye agudie yenko tie na Addo asem ye okan ye na ye tie wi a meba na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na mo bi a watuo enu tie nam so amenne amanfo esopa no no enu so ye nyadaje na ye tie bi bo modin ase oba like video no share ema ne nko afoforo so titru pa no fa wadwen kire so ebra yenko tie na adanko akufu ado bra woni mabunu bi hia ena wo mu bisa nse na Addo yi eba ne sei na wo de amanfo so pawo amanfo di watem amanfo ka wachira sem ensem moni ni ade o ma bonten ma meyi wona no kora ade ntira na Addo srei na wo sreye no anu ye be ena wo de ma wo yenko ti na Addo mra.
How do I keep calm when they criticize my actions? First of all, I think that that's a system of government that I've always wanted for this country. A country whereby presidents, people in authority, ministers, presidents, whoever you are, can be criticized. There was a time in Ghana when it wasn't like that, when one man spoke and that was that. I've never liked that sort of situation because I don't believe that you have a situation whereby one man knows everything. It's better to have a system where lots of ideas and lots of brains are brought forward to one thing. So that's the first thing, is that I approve of the system whereby people can criticize the president. So if that happens, it will look strange if I start getting agitated when people are criticizing me. I'm not God. I cannot be. None of us are. But we do our best. But criticism is a good thing. It helps you sometimes see things that you yourself have not seen. It opens up different perspectives. A lot of times you can disagree with your critics, but sometimes there's something in the criticism that is of use and of benefit which you can use to do. So that's the reason why I don't get agitated when people criticize me. I think it is their right to do so. But it's just as if it is my right also to ignore their criticism if I think that there's no substance in it. But that's the system that we have.
Piao na Addo semni bi ena yakakuti no wono ankasa to no muton se amamuyo no se bi de wotwasa onim se na chiachia ye onipa bi wo ho no mo se bi to de bia wonom sem wo moka no etwe adwene si nema bi so ma otu hu ana mo eye ne ye nti se wo ye amanyo ana se wudi wo man animu a memma manfo nsem mo beka no mo so ye Ghana fo wo mo so wotwa ka se wo mo de wo man no ye de eto amamuyo ana se ekwan a wo de wo man no ye de e fa so no na ye be cha no so a na Addo de ye di na tem o ye di na Addo atem ama bi aso papa na Addo papa kura na ye de ye di na tem bi sebe nanado babedi ade enkwala nketo a wodo omu ko school free omantua 1 cedi sa nkwara no ne omanyini a omudi nanado atem yesi nanado statue esi se western region hono baabi o sede ade chiye ni aka ko bubu statue no kura kire se ne hu hia se ye nsi ni statue kura apia stadium aye nyira yenim no okoka semitia nanado anko akufo ade ko di natem ema national security for ekofa apia stadium nanado na kasa sa issue statement se debida munjano woye Ghana ni se meye bibi ne nkoye na otwabomia munjano man nkyere na adwen Professor Evans Fifi Atameos papa no metere so a na masori metuche ma no Prof Evans Fifi Atameos baby owo bia nyankopon oma na dabre papa bi na onfa ne nto anamobe na Professor Mills kokotuye obi koko di na Atameos atem se nanim sa akatia sebi adwe ena wo mukwachi akwa no ede ne call Professor Mills ho se akwa we na edi watem social media so na trend wo bia eka ho asem no ena Atameos ko busa sojafo no se adan wose maye den ena wo se wose wo sa adwe wo ya akatia wo nim sa akatia na Professor Evans Fifi Atameos busa sojafo no se enti mo hwamia mesa akatia mo hwamia mesa adwe sojafo no se dabi sa on sa adwe na obusa o mo se enti mensa adwe a chi a mo chi ne baaye no mo chi na base mo nyina so no ene se mo manenko Professor Nosma o mo pamo akwa no opona teni a wadi anyina eto da bia ya na nya nsem nyina ne soso ye hwe wo mo di na nado atempa yesini wo dwale aluprem NDC fo mpenifo mpodi omo se na nado dwale aluprem ana nsuo ni so ne gu yeso wo ye yi a na nado ne ba omia kofa drone baaye se yemfa moja na emergency yesi drone no omo de abase emba ne dwale a na yetwa omo video wo wiem chesensem bebre no a ena omo kan na nado amowa le kofa adwo buroni o se wodo buroni bi e de betoto na nado ho se omo ti aluprem ena na nado eturo bi a naked picture o mampani papa na mabontinda wa mana chitafo bia nso anko sankofo no ana wo mu etu sa na mo no Manasi Azure yegine ni Manasi Azure Ghana boy no otwere nkrata papa otwere papa Manasi Azure twere krata bi fa na danko akofo ado ho o say the president Ghana never had modaro mamenkasa sa na ti o se mementi asie mu no kire se nanadu o mampani bi a Ghana yemfa ne se wa medi o mampani kura yemfa ne se nanado wa medi o mampani wo Ghana hakura yemfa ne se wa amba enti ni 8 years no between 2017 to 2024 no yentwa eno kura mfiri Ghana bakosemu yemfa ne se wa amba kura yenshi hongu na Manase Azure twire se book no wie no o se simu pampan e de ko ebi ko na nado office sa ko hande ma no se o invite na nado se o be launch ni book na nado so je o sere o di bi ko mati opoku prempe na po sabrem se no na education minister o se na energy minister o di bi ko na po ho ko invite na po se na po me be launch bi na wa twire book wetia MPP man pani na wasa ko invite MPP mpani for se wo launch book wo mmra am particularly so motobi. That is democracy. That is what democracy. Edu tu sana mo we enema we nyina kofa na na do ho so say oman no amebuo no eho na mani ye den ehwe e wo mo se nya bibia na do ye bia na so ani edu mre bia Ghana fo nyina ka se finance minister wo nyina di Ghana fo kan na do anyina di ene ko wi akire kofa nsem bebre baaye no National Cathedral ho sensem wo ekoba ye ne amana ne da so da ho no mu ade mpese mo de ye mo antimi anwie ena Ghana fo tumu efura konya so ene amana ne da ho de bia behu amana ne bia ne bebo mutre so me kan we kire se nye niema bia na nado ne na MPP fo be ye na ye o nenso so enye bone ne nko na ese ye kan eniema papa bebre no aso na MPP ba ya omo eba be ye na back to John Dramani Mahama na mo bia wotu e na manfo atu wo mo anu ade agu ne so woro mo kire se Ghana man pani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba ye afra se twam no mo sha se wɔn so panic kakra wɔn nyɛ start yi Twene Jonas sɛ Twene Jonas na yi ne energy ne kɔ fam Addo ɛna Twene Jonas didi ne ho Twene Jonas so pa Addo sɛ bi ne yɛ mo ba twabɔ ne firi soro kɔka fam ɛnɛ de Twene Jonas kora yɛn tene nka wɔn no ɔdin paa na wɔn di Addo atam na wɔn nyina ne hɔ na sɛ nko wɔn nyina wɔ hɔ na nka wɔn adwuma no ɛda so gyina ne nan so paa sɛ Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sanko fu esi wɔn so wɔn anu agu so a ɛne nka bɛte social media fo nyina but Addo timi egyina saa de na no wanso so a adenti na ne wo se wo ma social media fo nkyerɛ wo ma adwene me nka se obi ko di man penny atem sɛbi manu hyehyɛ mu na so no de wo yɛ sa mra no obedi me nka se obi ko super na Ghana man penny te sɛbi ne yɛ mo ba ɛno de mra ne odi ɛno obedi na mmom sɛ wo kyerɛ wo adwene sɛ Ghana ni yɛbɛkae a Addo predi kɔkɔhwe ase wɔ ɔboase ne kumase nkwantempɔn so menam so ama asoafoɔ binom ne mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ ne apolisifoɔ ne nipa bi ɛhwere wɔn no nkwa na ɛno na mmabunu bi a yɛhwɛ wɔn yɛ MPP foɔ wɔn mo ba abɔnten wɔn hyɛ ase bɛyɛ video sɛ baako de fancy comedy o sɛ deɛ bɛyɛ video sɛ Addo predi hwe ase paa deɛ omo wuwo no de emfata omo kura because omo de omo trimu ye na ye woni pa bi wo ndisi mu omo na esen ka omo trimu pa emo omo wuwo sanko ebobo bi din na se be obi bo wutu a na omampani anase mrahye bedwafo anase wo pani bi etisi mitu anamo se obi si obenya na nka mawu ene nka Trump any mampeni ahodo no de ye wo mo mpo de ye wo mo AI cartoon ni video ni ne ma de ye wo mo no na so wo mo hwe ho o man no a wo buo no ena ne ye den eda so na saa sensem ne bae na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama babontin be ye video minka so be ye video program bi ase ena ode nsem ba betu dwa no se e free ne ko national security for ba be mo mani akofom uni abaka ko na social media be di nsem hunu bia na ye be track you sa aba be show panchi na brebre na si show mu a emra no bedi papa yenko tie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne semu a wode atudwa ewo nsensem bi e Ghana fo bi kan osusu se enye ne kwan so.
We have a new crop of I'll call them new journalists who anybody with a phone and a camera can report news or comments on national issues. Now the point is, who holds those people responsible? And that's what he's saying. If you go to some of the WhatsApp platforms or you go to some of the commentaries in the TikToks and others, we have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal. Despite the fact that we have removed the criminal libel laws, there are some laws that make such people accountable. Because if we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. There are some of the incendiary statements that have been made in the Boko situation that are fueling some of what is happening there, making people hate each other and see each other as enemies. It's been the same in the Gonja Brefo thing. Some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to be sanctioned under the criminal code.
Pia, where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, so one number one says, what you as social media for 2 manu a dear good show. Say, Adinti and service. Say, the Obekan Ghana for Casabua, a day Ashe or no bo a home per se, or Musubekan, or nom Akuma Swase. Inti and someone say, the amount for Pinoa, a day or nom annual 2 months were drinking and saying, Sabe, as I said. One motion almost strong so said the bear will be a team cotton being coached and I've been who be and family council. And I want to moon and English will be as a we are here drone. Untimin Castle be you be a no Mako. What I say, yes, I and Donald Trump on one way, any and Casudi the almost papa. But we wouldn't go so. Can you join us? Yeah, 8 good years, will be out to son or so, a mamma penny be ans packing or so near the day. On the baby, ain't you one yin says Sebi, a brana, can you join us? A sorry Gina and Addo, so pa and Addo Timico America, no acquire conference, no ne Donald Trump, no ne Juan Enamha, no more yes, or more dim common there. Ain't you don't Nanado intimi Emma American man penny, and I say American penny for intimi. To don friend say Tuni Jonas and I say one who mu twabon near the ade Kevin Taylor wa America no was super MPP for near the ade etinka bamu penifo bia ntimi ntusa na mo no ana nanso obi amfi obi a yenhwe ha se obi a wadwen kire yenja obi a no nkire na adwen wa mamuyo no se de esi kɔ ho
ezu ye ban omo chi omo galamse no omo atu omo mu ye be ma omo amnesty no omo asaba.
Na enano pay honorable Maxwell Ofosu Boache ya kane na woye MC anase aban anemosini ewo soame municipal ya enei wasaka MPP amonyokyo communication team anase womo ekasa edema amonyokyo no na woko ekopie mu ewo Kesben television show nano pay ekwa kyerɛkyerɛ adwen ɛwɔ nneɛma ahodoɔ bi a ɛkɔ so Ghana seesei deɛ ɔman Ghana yɛgye dimbɔne ɛwɔ aman ahodoɔ so a ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a nimanimu ya no aban ne fa ne nansi fam na anammɔn a wɔtuo yɛ a ɛgya dimbɔne de ma ɔman Ghana no nka saa deɛ no ɛntumi ɛmfiri hɔ firi sɛ ɛnɛ deɛ obiara nim sɛ nneɛma bi ɛkɔ so Ghana ha nom sei no ɛsɛ bi MPP anase NDC fo nyinaa gye to mu sɛ ɛntwa yie nti ɔno deɛ ɔbɛsra ban no ɛwɔ nneɛma bi ya NDC fo yɛ bie na MPP fo anhyɛ da amma na ahia wɔ mo na ɔmo deɛ amamu yo no a sɛ ɔman no bɛkɔ n'anim na ahia wɔ mo na ɛnɛ deɛ His Excellency John Dramani Mahama onhwɛ so na onyene nani emu man no na emom nneɛma bi a ɛnhyɛ da hinya bebre no ɛno ɛna wɔsɛ ne mmerɛ ɛwɔ ho yɛnkɔ na yɛnkotie Honorable Maxwell Ofosu Boache ya kane na ɔyɛ MC ɛwɔ Swame municipality.
Our president is an over-pumped spoiled kid.
What did you say?
Our president, Nando Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is an over-pumped spoiled kid.
You're calling? Wait. You're calling our president a kid?
Oh, he's behaving like one. He's throwing tantrums.
Isn't that a bit of a low blow?
If the president,
a man of almost 80 years, you're calling him,
so then he should stop behaving like a spoiled kid. Our president is throwing tantrums on the international scale and embarrassing us. It's like you going to a church service with your child and your child is rolling on the floor and screaming because they didn't allow him dip his hand in the offering bowl. That's what our president is doing. This is the same man who ran around with his rating agencies and their ratings when he was candidate and used it to poo-poo the Mahama administration. He has overseen the worst economy in our country, reduced our country's economy to junk status, toilet paper status. And when they are telling him, he says that why should they tell him the truth? Our president hates to be told the truth.
Now the ratings are getting better. The ratings are getting better.
Because you are not paying your debts.
Incompetent and useless the president is. You can't say it any way nicer. And this one, when I say he's a useless president, I'm being very charitable and nice and kind to him. Because the president sits on his ears, so he doesn't hear when we talk.
On the same issue.
They all can in the on paper and kay. Bebusa say abana or no can no more bitty nana.
Okay.
Amunti.
So that's a big question.
What is? Now obi say dun ketia kan asem bi. Na Ghana fo mu nyina mo amfa ma adwene anko. O kai bra no more opposition. Na more fighting over positions. Even when they were in opposition.
Yeah.
Say dun ketia kan asem bi. O say mama yen konwure mu nkoche aboa no nwie na yen nwene kwan a ye be fa so a ye be che no pacho de be ade na no mo be che no
pacho minim minim ade kro minim ade kro
ede na no mo ba be che no adwuma be oh yeah tieno enti if you have a opposition chairman no can say asem we kirewa o se won hu say bibi besi say the AC ne
it's not because yemfa yemra nya adwuma we because so sanima no
you see all other countries like he said corruption eni ho anka obi anhemra obon say de mra bi ba na ye bibi ne de ba besi ho ba and ye de bo bibi ho ban what you say corruption oh mu create impressions NPP na ye corrupt ne ade no is it Hanan ewo ejina court ura edubu ahin ejina court but busa ho say ye ready say person fight corruption me pa Dr. Opuniwe
acquitted and I say nolly prosecuted.
Yes, technically it's more of an acquitting and discharging, though not from court. Me pa what I say Alaji Sagleme Alaji Collins Dauda
ono so
way are we saying say NDC need there we involving who in corruption there utimiko
depending on the buy also
what you say and I said na tamakru
acquitted and discharged by a competent court of jurisdiction. Oh sir
now unanimous FC one kind na ye wana
there be
na ye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the NDC for and the creative impression be say course na the bidding of President Akufo-Addo and in fact they even promised a Chief Justice our hono sabre no mo ba mu be yi na free because because she's compromised omo ba ye omo timi apekwan bi aso yi na mpa omo e de omo Chief Justice aba omo ye okay with ebi ewu nso no oba judges ni mu a oma ye reshuffle but what you say enne say the ruling aba said na ba ye even come kire prison kura wo kura na ye den because na omo de enti ye gine ba oba ye nka de nka manini wa ye mpo na nka court ma ruling we nko nipa bete wase na asem ahwehwe aso say ss superior court judges miensa atena asem so in fact mu ba ku de minim ne pa nyenche atena asem so ama ruling we say now say me enra bi asem John Mahama His Excellency kan ye no e me yemfa anya adwum
now based on the evidence of the court say Attorney General
nipa ne manu nsia bo what nipa ene manu nsia
Attorney General so work on any backing documents na say for no were not all read and yet
anya Attorney General na ebi mu de kura enko court kura ma okoma no prosecute na ye sure said na wono ye Mahama darling girl oh no na Attorney General bet yes or dana kuma so pa o ye sure so no na Mahama bet na so on prosecuting na just for the optics yes be ya mu be hu say ye mpene na ade opese hu say Attorney General no kure ni na afa me pa cho hwe all NDC communicators me pa cho omu position no positive towards said na negative towards omu nyina communicate in favor of Sedina. Why is the Attorney General the only person? I won't go answer what court. The Attorney General no one appointed no one army. But what I say? That he should tell you, sir. Say by a Ghana for who say, oh, as Attorney General cry say, or besa kwa ko pushi biu. Now wo said the na NDC ni said the Dr. Opuni NDC ni. Said the Collins Dauda NDC ni. Aden na wo kwa ko Jai Collins Dauda na said na de wo se mempene e be sa ko Supreme Court o me yenye asumdwe the little resources are mine no on when one go waste no Supreme Court because him say ruling e beba no will not be different from the whole CCA. I'm not trying to prejudice a issue no but under asema President Mahama ka kire ye ne de se me gina nanu masam so na aka de a masa they say omo absolute control over the judiciary. It be answers and I coming back to corruption semi are okay. Abaya or no so be fight corruption or source source. The biggest source in Ayenya in the history of this country. A big push. Who source in be a society. It is our case or mine ye bed then I took a task a prayer so I don't free training ya the academy in home.
The interim say
Etireno, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, yenim ni history, any chrono, any kweketase.
How?
Who doesn't know?
I don't know.
And you only a better no Ford Explorer no. Mbajona yewa. And you only a channel Ford Explorer no. And yes, our brand here no okoye kwan no is this sa kwan na no kroma kwan originally at 25 million euros. Ya page muko over 60 million euros. Rehabilitation kwan ya in less than 10 years. Kwan na san say ya bibi afoforo. Sa kwan no ho ne be channel Ford Explorer no mpajo so kai. Jafi adena afi de oji mechinye was answer movie. When it comes to President Mahama and corruption, who you free money? It is one no kroyano, the biggest project, and nuna ye so sourcing. Emu baku kren where competitive bidding. Masa, who you free corruption who ye? Me busa.
So sourcing is corrupt.
Nyamena mekai, me se me do onu anu
masa na de
judge. Na ebu anfo. Okay. Because enu ebi no, o ma ye hunu se aban bi apaso obokro no anu ye so sourcing. Ghana for TA eto abati a NPP. Eti enne isa waba na wo ye so source na ye NTB mpani nsem da mpacha wo ye den a.
Omaro Kanazoi.
Anya Kanazoi credit na mepe.
Mepe dodo pepeso
na mepe. Yes. Mpacha what is it? Se waba na wo ye so source na. Mepacha wo ye den a. Onya kromfo na na wo.
Based on wa
no asema aka na enra. Se wo so ye kromfo comfortachi amwa. Because there no kwa there so sin we be ade. Na matie okuja to ablakwa about US embassy honorable Alima Mahama issue no okuja to opese Ghana for gini dia ora you see this guy the little credibility or no em so save ebebo ye nyina o save the little credibility no wona ebebo ye nyina me pacho ora sikase nom so mbeji ama oman no
21 billion
dollars. Faka dollars ne ka homa me ne ho ni hia me. Mbacho se o ma je sei.
Minti bi nche.
Ora no atonsuom. Omo bedi ntro bebre gu Ghana for so. Okuje to abla kwa na ne da no. Eti enne wo be ka kire me say US embassy no ya boka about was it 19.2 million dollars sorry. Ya boka $19.2 million. Me pacho mumusa sa Ghana yesika sen na ira.
So wankase Ghana sikaira but oma fakweti kwan so no ma Jesus Ghana. Yes.
Wait. Is he saying say outsourcing illegal? Is that what Okujeto is telling us? So a person will be agitated, he should put out the forensic audit. For forensic audit ne meto abonti no obi anyada en kan bi.
Right.
And a forensic audit so yanya no kwa. The moment I buy forensic audits, there also on basis to prosecute individuals.
Yeah.
It won't me who the stance are buying a biotic. If indeed so betima prosecute here. Individuals are embassy honomono. Is he saying say obi ba betua visa fee a emeto aban futu mana? And now obi ba be passport a emeto aban futu mana? Delivery enka aban adwuma ho. So na me agree a different thing altogether. And if I say wo na wo US embassy, me pe kwan aba Ghana, me tua visa fee, na wudi a ene de wabo man ne kro no. So me passport will me renew na through the embassy na me na me tua passport fee na wudi a wabo man ne kro no. But say bia ade na me ba be ye no. Communication e wo mu no bia wo document ni bia wo say wa wo ba beje na me se mintimi ma na emom no minua yi wo platform foforo wo mo no mo de delivery it ya linking to that platform no na wo no ya deliver wa yi ama at a fee. What does that got to do with the country?
Okay,
what does that got to do with the country? And then you also creating impression be say we corruption. Ade just because you say ora na tonzu muntino you say ya de share adumni adan. And in fact sa gentleman ade ba kunsu ni honorable Alima Mahama sorry Okujeto Ablakwa ma be kan che say there was a contract between the embassy and the gentleman individuals na no mo yes adwuma no.
Okay,
omo outsource that part no. How much of that contract no omo outsource you know? We need to know because outsourcing almost all the state assemblies in one way or the other outsource certain aspects of omujumedi. revenue omutimi outsource bi ebi towing services a revenue collection because for municipal assembly during my days we outsource it to a company ono na eye na bosome so a sika ni bi aba assembly ho no no so afa bi.
What about obibusa say or your due diligence, because is there some conflict of interest because nipa krona ya outsource man was a worker at the place
and I say nipa no was a worker at the place. Conflict of interest. When I say we are Juma, Kesben, not Kesben, advertise project. I want me.
It depends on the Juma.
What I'm free Kesben. When I say we are Juma, KME, not KME advertise for contract. I want me. No workers asemano. I only have to let mono that me interest the woman also me declare. So me a part of the decision making. Members now. I was recusing me when they are taking the decision. Emra say so we are part of an establishment, an institution. Now you bid for be now qualifier untimi enyebi. Emra be anyho. Name of so the interest ni see. Now a conflict with rule on your maybe dia. And the issue of conflict of interest will arise. Information what they are near too scanty.
On come with better and further particulars.
On carry because about me who no. Let me say be grandpa. Wakoto fence will be wakosi dan bi and now we're creating you be say makwa yakoya ade we na sika na yira from Ghana's account. Sika so nya o man ni sika. Where additional services in fact it's not even compulsory. Individuals no omo
betima ba beje wa
odo apa obetima jai do ye no abegina de enye wasem enye wo hye.
I see.
It's already created this impression. Now yamra AXA.
For time until no why in short no me.
And they cry me mincha. So no cry there. Minwe. Nka say me twa so say you. Eno de sabi yanya a court. E wo US. E de Babontin say your former power minister.
Okay, power minister.
Your friend, almost friend in that in KD. Only they say bear 1 million Ghana cedis be abedino. On your own coin. In all now about $2 million. Sorry, $2 million. Only they bear $1 million. About abedino. But the Bepimini Attorney General near press conference be I'm surprised. Ebepimini Yoku Mente and mete so mobile was they are taking it up. It in Kama Bontia issue is more aware. Hey, any allegation? Mr. US court no any allegation where in fact audio recordings TV. Audio recordings are court no which you emphasize him we try when you could to propaganda ni biu. Nyabute. Mr. When you could to propaganda no way ni biu. Where a competent court a US. What you say? And abua edis our findings we aba. Obekaya. Nyabute. Time I compare power plant ni we say. Obekaya kaze is so expensive.
Yeah, we said it.
You see, a bokeshira swade no. Obekaya sabe no honorable chairman sabos na minority leader. They vehemently opposed sa agreement no. But John Dramani Mahama, me see bibi ekowu ebekra no. Yenya hunu hwe. Bibi ade bi ekowu ebekra John Mahama. Ade bi akro no project asese ebo mu bia no. Ni di mpamu da. Airbus na onie Airbus scandal na nimunie what ya say ekoto plane onu timi nyanto so ntwobo na ni nua din boom eti bibie ni won me be fa no ho kwa so we said say adene ne board din dodo ani e no ani e na say Dr. Kwabna donko say
o say on gisk
na wan ka abeka so wajis
o so onim
ni pa o share
me bi say wa
asa magina se magina se menya no kwada daddy
na me say wa nka ba jatu so what is
senyo no kwa na implicate obi am abontin ono kwa na ba abontin
in fact sabrel kwa na honorable sologo ena na
Max ba men kasem cho hwe ye wa ha say omo a through romance scam. You before Moko America. You omo body you me fast uncle for nko say mo so mo ye friend complicit of the same of meba Wadaroma. US court abo owura KD Kobra Donkodi. Ghanaian parliamentarians idi. And then say if indeed some
other officials
sorry. So if indeed omo evidence prove say you must have for this SC Canadian. Get from.
No, the US law no does it extend to Ghana.
Then you before Butuka
hold on. My mention a citizen of US and what so they protecting their citizens.
Sure.
We know. Omnipa no and convicting for also between them 30 years. And that is Asante
yes. I don't know about Bonkophobia. And
investigation, but they have nothing to do with Ghana.
But Ghana, serious, and you're Mahama, and president.
Yes, you also am taking up. Attorney General, you take care.
Attorney General, Attorney General.
All right, let's move on now for
Sputnik V issues by or COVID.
Free speech for the first time, matter some NDC people. Ekasetia say kwanye faswa ye chairman for no entwaso mu owura dafia mapo akasa e de afa ho me hu some lawyers like Martin Pebu akasa e de afa ho the democracy na ye hwe so we have about 3-4-5 minutes
that tells you how democratic the NDC is, so that's it, because
maybe defend it. Some people are defending. Just a few of them.
So democracy said the
yes, a few of them. Few members are speaking again.
Yeah, what Nadjin. So the Uzun Assembly Isifa. And she free speech and say yeah, condemn young condemning on no certain terms. And I was say yeah, must I married a course during the NPP era. Similar instances in I happened here. And she personal say no maybe say a course. Maybe you say a brand say you don't be high, say or free speech, and I don't know interest in abusing Crawford be what reputation. Casa to train idea, I didn't know a media national. I was saying, if you are on the Casa ye, minimum amounts to the baby now, you try arguing for Mamono. But we have a swim. We have to mess with your purchase because our words are measured. Your suggestions never being measured. We are doing no. But to maybe 5 cities data the content for the 10 times. Now, Cassette fa penny moving Cassette fa penny no. Definitely, police are some duties of maintaining law and order. No, they will make sure. So that say be crying for security reasons. Intino, I was our Cassan now kind of free now be in Sembiano. So I say, Intino, Cassan idea, young nano. We should measure the way we.
You mean draw a line between free speech. Any speeches I bet me at your uni. I think there's a thin line there. Between them. Yes, but I'm unfortunate the security personnel, Yoko for the police for no abuse that thin line.
Abuse because who got enough videos now they do I think say you need to be called and then or you need to be invited and then come and explain the reasons why who did your company. Who didn't attempt for what reason? Who didn't attempt for what reason? So say na mama obu na djuma wo ye na enso nia you can as well
criticize.
You can criticize the djuma wo die but your personality so we did attempt so and so on and so forth hu hia ebra so say nyina no ye constitution no krato nchen ya ye morality e kire yen say wo yakoda enkasa ntia pani mu
see on that based on that way now obi timi aka say mo benefit here when you are in opposition e cassette ya mampani na what so na Addo Danko Akufo-Addo obi si na nim to say I can use those words here. Yes,
fine but the people also
to be say mo betimi akasa some there hold on betimi ayesa there the best thing you should have done say well yes you are nyene so any patch then we set the record straight na ye nyema otumi aboa. Do you agree with that people?
Akufo mo koka some enfini masam kire I think the then first lady ya ntwoma so
why
friend say muntie 3 or 7 hwan for kan some
judge
no
judges
let me
you were in office 2016
let me recollect this thing Bobiansa also
Bobiansa yes he spoke against the justices
I think so or can be far friend said fine but there were presidents a chese nkofobia no tia the den omampani excellency and Addo dan kokufado sabi almost no ya for no di enti so obi so aye bi na say emra no ni di a so
Martin Table Bekase, the number of people are under the Kufado regime Yachomo compared to the 1.5 years of a year Mahama Nipa Yachomo. Is it not an indictment?
It should also tell you, sir, the extent.
The
degree of insults and I say no my
no chance
I brand the cause because you bear witness to say no my cause particularly with social media friends presentations nkwara kuma keten kwatna ho so camera scene so hwate nyawudi before dey no ayo so that the sign people into one say wo fana say wo papa nua bia ntin kasa be ne so manfa so ma na wo gu no hu fin minim san kofo bi hyehyɛ wo machi
kofo be
na papa okodi Mahama tem ex vice president anko bam no some fancy comedy so one or kon no bam no
that's on nyon na platform no mu use
in the platform no
anyway
it's nipa no o twe na so said o ye no wanye ni ya nka anko bam
right so that's it
e bam na o kan bam
me too
can tell about Kuroma no order he anya vice president fi no order
e bai uhun
nyabote me ba Kevin Taylor by Chrome ha mumma security bodyguard
minu ma so hu bi
kwa no mu di na jade ye efra Ghana ahwa na eni mo bia number 2 wabane nam Chrome ha wadi panyini bi owo Chrome ha bia atem mumma no police escort ewie san twa ticket man na man san ko
hey sir obna san twa ticket man obna twa ticket man so
na hwa ya what a man this one darling boy ni Kevin Taylor oh be kan bam ya ti Chrome ha wo kan kwala asem oh secondary school for be omudi na Addo dan Addo atem ba just okay e ma ya me nse be suspended them you ja wo GS ne take that decision no but President Addo ka chom say munya wo omo ye nkora they are still at their formative stage enti enioma bi won ma we only have to caution and advise them that is leadership yati krom hanom yesi President Addo akune yire otuko no ne kan me ba jo hwana eye ni bibi enyoma amodi edi na Addo dan Addo esi nanim sesei nanim sesei obi ani ho nobody ena under Addo na no asem e costing in the freedom nobody omomo one oka bobi ansa
Apia stadium
nyabote Apia stadium freedom be nyabote me ba
ye de to car to efri Kumasi concrete
misro
waja se me
ba you see bobi ansa asem okokan say justices of the Supreme Court here corrupt na omakwaje $5 million now say judges ntra hono mo hwe
oh na said anas dia o ye betu dwa no na
ejano ya Addo
onka of Addo
oh misro eno na momo site Captain Smart me ba cho brebe na ate say ya drag na konyina court da because of nano but otimi ekeka nsem bi say President Addo ye illegal mining BNI will invite you to come and substantiate your claim okwani ehun sa asem ne nyina so bia na ejawo every ben na ate say Addo ayin strategy say ya fa Captain Smart nkoko da me ba cho ti bi da sansem we na ye kan ye say bia police invite wa na say we
ba say Mahama so instructors here for bia
eti Mahama ntimi instructor say munya de mo ye no
okay na Addo dan Addo
baby
me ba cho omo ye do omo kokko de say dum so aba dum so is back na police for akotwe boy yi from Agona jejeje de na bankran na ye de na court ni e remandi bi just because of omanu asem obi the president appointed president in gay colors na nipa no ye de na ko remand akohyem
now yes I hear
ya but and Baumia me pese mu se mo tolerance level of form and Baumia ye kremonia ye so we whiskey we preku but inteli ya ira koku mu NDC fo na mo yes ade no and so ya anya mo hwe ya mo ho wa we pretended as if you don't even exist the more tolerance level na ye can nipa asabi na no ya pa ba kwa nkanye President Mahama in Ghana's politics otimi ka che Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say asem wo ka is stupid Martin Pebu they use the word stupid otimi ka che MPs from balonies otimi frɛ a whole tribe Achim Sakawa mafias ma mentina ha na mi lebo gonjafo say because say Vice President Mahama Kranka na men ka semunti agonja for say omo ye achem gonja deben sakawa. Master, where do you think this will land me? And then in the other say I'm trying to disturb the peace of this country. Police for Babachi.
You are being tribalistic.
What you say? You be be diaba. But a dear back was a NDC who say mo fra Kufuado Nebukadnezar Nebu.
No Mahama can do an answer Mahama.
You what you say? And someone more catch NPP. Nobody. And they didn't go in court. The only person under ye 8 years na no asem didn't go in court. Now it had to do with the Bank of Ghana speculation. Me pa cho obusa no kra wada mu say just 2 weeks.
And you just
unim say enu kra no and nya Kufuado asem na ya about the dollar. The Bank of Ghana took it upon themselves. In fact, what kind is on a TikTok now can say Google abenya story. Lawyers say what court to cry pleading. Sanka beya omunya na judge ni no the speculation no ya too much. Say beya nkrofo besu ya bibi nti. Ya fa ne enkodam.
Ebi na ekoso yi. Yes, that's example.
Tie eno nya remand na remand kura 2 weeks a masa yenya wa obedam say